Hello my dear, my name is Alexandra Huber. Today we will do experimental video and do a bit of knitting with a crazy yarn of neon yellow. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Gjestal. Now it's House of Yarn brand, but it's a Gjestal. For needles 9 to 12. A little intro about my knitting interest. It's an interest and I'm very beginner. So if you want to learn knitting, you can start with me, and maybe today we will need a little example, and maybe later we will knit together, for example, a sweater. So let's begin. Obviously, every good beginning starts with a T. Here, obviously, could have been your advertisement, but for now it's just a T. So I have Fruit di Bosco. You can have whatever you prefer. I found it's nice to have a hot drink next to me because it always makes my mood better, calms me down, and that's a particularly very important for knitting. I will put now second camera so we have top this got view guys, got view. Could you believe in it? I cannot believe in it. Okay, hopefully it works. So we start. We have a yarn, as I said, and knitting needles. My knitting needles are number 10, because I have maximum number 10. If you can have a 9 or 11 or 12, you obviously also can try with it, because this particular wool is suitable for needles 10 to 12 according to producer. But there is also another option that you can fit needles to your wool and to your knitting style. So practically do it how it's comfortable for you. Again. So now I will do example. My example will be 10 stitches. Because I know that for this big wool, my knitting style and these big needles, it's roughly 10 centimeters. So 1 stitch per 1 centimeter. So you need it later to calculate how many stitches you need to start your piece what you want to work on. So how you are doing? Since I don't know what one can see from top, I sit here. So you take, I also knit with the left hand. So if you knit with the right hand, it's a vice versa. You understand it, right? It's all clear. So you take your wool, right? For 10 stitches, I know that it shall be short. It's roughly like this length, until the elbow, right? You take it like this. So this is top sort of, this is from the side. You take these two pieces together and like a loop on the 2 fingers, the thumb and the index finger, and you hold it like this. Okay, it's the first step to start. Second step, you take a needle. Since it is big needles, I will put my stitches on a 1 needle. If it is small needles, I would put it on 2 needles because I have a tendency to do it very tight. I will show in another video. Okay, so you take a needle, you put it on the top like this, top, then you put it from a side, then you put it again from a top from another side, and you get 2 stitches on top, 2 stitches on your needle. Let's do it again together. I will try to repeat it the same tempo, just with the top front. So I don't know how to show it in this camera. Let's say it like this. So stick, then I understood. So you do it needle from top to bottom on the top, this line of a triangle, let's say, right? Then under thread and up with a thumb, and then under a thread and up under index finger, and you're in. Let's do it together one time more without detailed explanations. Okay, so you have your beginning position. I believe in you, you can do it. Okay, and do it 1 and 2 and 3, and you're done. 2 stitches on your needle. And then to continue, it's even simpler. So your position is still the same. 2 tails, so to say, together, and your wool on index and the thumb, right? And then you go under thumb, under index finger, up. I believe it was not seen. Again, it was a number 3 stitch, right? So again, I don't know how to show it, but like this. Okay, under thumb, under index finger, done. And don't pull it hard here, like together too much. Sort of don't do this, because otherwise you cannot knit the stitch afterwards. So do it a bit loose. A bit loose. I show it again here with a focus in this front camera. Again, under thumb, under index finger, up. So now you can lovely calculate it yourself that we have currently 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do 5 more, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and I have a very little tail here. So tail hen for number 10. So now I have a 10 stitches on my needle, right? This is my working thread. This is this beginning thread. That how it calls in books, or this introduction to cast in, how I understand it. How I understand it. And now it's very important not to forget about your tea. Your tea shall be prepared. Lovely now. Please sip a tea. Brilliant. A brilliant hot tea. Very tasty. It's very good for mood and for a health. Continue. So now we need to do an example. So we need to actually knit. It's very simple. So you need to take one needle in your working hand. If you're right-handed, it shall be your right hand. If you're left-handed, it shall be your left hand. If you're octopus, I don't know. However you prefer, please. So it does not matter. I have circular needles. You can have this long needles with a little button on in the end. Does not matter. So in another hand, you obviously have your needle with the stitches. Right. First stitch, we take on the needle without knitting. We will knit it later in the next row. Then practically the working thread in your working hand, but you need to hold it with the hand where is the needle with your stitches. So like this. It's much easier to show than to explain. Okay, then I'm doing the simplest knitting. It is auf Deutsch it is glatt rechts. It's right. How do I stitch this face stitches? My working thread is, so it is behind the needle. There are many ways to knit front needles. I know only one. No, actually I know two. One for circle knitting. So I will show you how I'm doing it. So front stitches, the thread is in front of a needle. So in front of a needle. So if I'm showing you how I see it, this is a needle and this is in front of a needle. I'm just thinking, is it in front of a needle or behind the needle? I don't know. You understand what I mean. It's actually behind the needle. Okay, how we do front stitches? We, not front, how we do face stitches, back stitches, face stitches, front stitches. I don't know how it calls. So your working thread is behind the needle, so your needle, and then your working wool thing. So you take with this back side of a loop, your loop, and then don't see, with the back side your loop, and then you take the wool and make it front. So again, I don't know it here, it's somehow uncomfortable, so that's why I will knit it differently. You also can knit it, you put a needle down to the back side of a stitch and then the thread up. So you can try both. You can try both. I will do it this way now. I think I pulled too much. That is why it's uncomfortable for me to knit. You see what's going on? It's uncomfortable. Now I'm pulling stitches too much. The last stitch, it's always back stitch. So the thread is in front of the needle, so this is the needle. This is in front of the needle from my perspective. You understand it, right? So you take a stitch by a back side, take a thread, pull it up, and you have it. You have it. So congratulations, that was the first row. The second row. So if the first row it was a face stitches, you like can see it here. Not perfect, but you can see it. So now from another side of like my working side, I see that it's a back stitches. It's you can see it here. They have like sort of kind of a thing here. I don't even know how to call it. So it means now it's the row that we will do the back stitches. So the same, first stitch, don't knit, you just take it out. Then the wool before the needle. So like a wool, the thread is to you. So you can see it from this position. So it's here, it's in front of this needle. I feel that my explanations are very confusing. Okay, so how you see it, how you make it. This is a stitch, you take a needle, you take a wool, you put a needle under a stitch, so, and then you take a working thread and pull it out. And then you do all the same things with all the other stitches. It's actually kind of very relaxing. First couple of times maybe it's a bit hard. I would recommend if you start get maybe a bit bigger needles, maybe a bit bigger wool, because it's a sort of easier to exercise and it's easier to see what kind of stitches you're making, how it's working for you, and so on and so forth, where you're making mistakes. It's also applicable for circular knitting. It's my next story. So we did 10 stitches. Okay, so now you see in front of you, it is the front stitches. It's without this thing. Like it's this glad, it's glade, smooth. Yeah, I don't know. You understand me. Don't forget your tea, because if you forget, it will get cold. And it will not be that pleasant anymore. So the same process is always the same. You start, take off a stitch. So since it is the front stitches, you put a thread behind your needle. So again, needle behind the needle. And then, so you see here, it's now changed, and it's useful for me to get the stitch from this like back side. Very important that the thread is behind the needle. So and now you do. What I also would like to recommend you, based on my own experience, try with a light wool first, or with colorful, so you see the different stitches, how they're working, and so on and so forth. Specifically, if it is a circular knitting and you are not sure how to do this. Also, with a light yarn, it's easier for eyes. And one more piece of advice, we will start with another row. So now with me, you could have finished your 4th row and you have something like this. So this is the front, and now I will need the back side with these things. You see, it's a bit like sort of waves on another side, right? And where I was, the same procedure. First stitch out, then thread to you in front of a needle, then you pull the side, back side, like a side, back side. It's not a back side, it's a to you, it's a front side. So this side, sort of a left side, right here of the stitch, pull the yarn, take it, right? And all the same for all other stitches. So one more point I'm only obviously using to do this is to knit without constant eye control. I believe you can call it such as a blind knitting. It's a bit the same as a blind typing, and it gives you much more feeling of how to do it, and obviously it's not that complicated and tiring for your eyes. It's very important, because if you're doing some kind of a sweater, it's a sort of hours of work, and it's not nice for your eyes to, again, front row, right? The same procedure, first stitch out, and so on and so forth, right? Pay attention where is your working thread and so on. So yeah, it's much easier for an eye. I have seen videos, great videos. Ladies are working on a big project with relatively small needles, like for example 4 millimeters, 4.5, 3.5 millimeters, and they're knitting, for example, a sweater with a 4.5 millimeters. Also from time to time with not an embroidery, it's like a bread, or how it calls, like a sort of some kind of a patterns. I don't know how they can deal with observing these small stitches. I don't know. Let's do the last row. That will be our wavy back row. You see, all the same. I believe until now you understood the principle. You only need to train a bit and everything will be fine, and you can also need your example or something else. Yeah, in my life for now I need only the one scarf, and that was with a bit of this pattern. Yeah. And I did not enjoy it. That is why I think for now at least I don't do any patterns. And I plan to do sweater top down and from bottom to the front. So now we have our example. I don't have here centimeter. That is why I will tell you that it's roughly 10 centimeters and here it is 10 stitches. And this I plan to make a pillowcase from it, or at least the front size, because I have only one piece. So we will do unbelievable thing now. Unbelievable enjoyable. We will say Auf Wiedersehen to our example and continue later with a project of a pillowcase. Thank you for being with me today. I hope you could learn something from me today. Please say your questions or ideas in the comments. Thank you again for your attention. Have a good day. Bye.